Hey, this is Linda. And I have been thinking lately, and maybe you guys have noticed it too, that are people meaner these days, or is it just my imagination? It seems like no matter where I go, no matter what station I turn to, people are mean. They're just saying mean things. They're being condescending and negative. It doesn't matter, even if I'm looking at a church event or something online, people are saying mean things about other people, and this is really bothers me that people are so cruel. So I got to thinking, I've been a counselor 30 years, but it's like, why are people so mean? And another author, a reporter, actually asked yesterday for some opinions, and I'd love to hear your opinions on why people are so mean, but I'm going to tell you mine. Here's my opinion. I believe that we have yet to come to believe that each and every one of us is created for a purpose. And that purpose is so unique and special that nobody else has ever done it. Nobody else will ever do what we are created to do, because we all have different skills, talents, abilities, interests. All of those things are different. Those we are irreplaceable assets to the world. And so is every one of those people that we don't like, that we're mean to, that we might bully or say awful things about. If God has created each and every one of us for a special purpose, then we should be doing that purpose. Now, sometimes we get shoved into or have opportunity to be in positions that aren't our best fit. That doesn't mean we're not valuable. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing something for God, for our fellow man. But what that is not for me to say what your job is, and it's not for you to say what my job is. If you're going to tell me that I'm not doing what I should be doing, then do it lovingly, please. That works. It just works to be nice. And that's the point. We're all supposed to be nice. If we could just follow the golden rule, think of that. I didn't know it was from the Bible for most of my life, but the golden rule is do to others, treat others the way you would like to be treated. If we would only do that, the world would be a much better, happier place, right? I wrote this book. I started writing this book a couple years ago. Speak to Me, God, I'm Listening. It's 365 daily meditations for those who want to hear God answer life's toughest questions. And this is a tough question. Why are people so mean, God? And when I asked him that, I came across today's, and that's why I decided to do this. I came across today's reading because this is every day of the year. August 20th is today, 2020. We are in the midst of a pandemic. That is part of the reason why this is so bad. People are upset. They are out of control. When people don't have control, they get irritable, they get angry, they get hostile, and they're looking for somebody to blame. Somebody's got to be to blame. Somebody's got to, you got to blame somebody for this pandemic, whether it's the people in China, whether it's the president, whether it's the Democrats, whoever it is, somebody's blaming somebody because life isn't going the way we want it to go right now. Fact of the matter is sometimes life just doesn't go our way. And that's the biggest part of the problem. We want things to go our way, and we think we know what that should be. But the good news is that God does work all things together for the good. And if we take the opportunity to look for the good, so what good could there possibly be in this pandemic? How can we turn it around so we're not so angry and mad and being mean to other people so that I can feel better about my situation? I'll tell you, if you realize your purpose, you will be doing things for other people, and I guarantee you that's going to make you feel better. It's definitely going to make you feel better. I was researching this a little bit yesterday for this reporter that was going to do a news report. And in the process, I started looking at how is this impacting people. I'll tell you, this pandemic is not good. It is impacting people in very negative ways. The alcohol consumption has gone up. The the suicide rate has skyrocketed. So many negative things have happened. Domestic violence is up. There's just a lot of negative things that are happening. Kids are struggling. We had a 10-year-old little girl that committed suicide in my community here in Wisconsin just a couple of weeks ago. This stuff, it shouldn't be happening. So what can we do to help that? Well, parents, I'm so sorry that you parents and you kids are stuck at home. It's got to be horribly, terribly challenging for everyone to be stuck in this. But what have people done? My daughter was one of the first people that I saw in my community post anything way back in February and March. She works in the medical industry, and here she and my 3 grandchildren are making masks around their kitchen table. The kids are taking a break from their stay-at-home schooling that doesn't work really well for a lot of kids, and this was a break for them. So I called my grandson Brock yesterday, who's a freshman, going to be a freshman this year, and I said, Brock, how did this make you feel? Did this make you feel better about things rather than being angry and upset and irritable? He said, Grandma, helping people get the needed things, or what did he say? The necessary things they need to do their job, and to do it and make them personalized masks made me feel really good. Instead of having them wear their old boring masks, they were able to personalize masks for people, and it made the kids feel really good about themselves. I think this is the key. I think helping kids find, and others, a purpose. What can you do for someone else? How can you get out of your own funk to help another person? That's your purpose. That's what we're on this earth for, is to help someone. Whether it's waiting on tables, whether it's being a nurse, whether it's shoveling dirt, you're helping other people. So what can you do today to help another person to find your purpose? I'll tell you, if you pray, speak to me, God, I'm listening, he'll tell you what you should be doing and what you could be doing. And then you just have to decide. But as I was reading my reading today, I write it for people in recovery because I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and I like the 12 steps. They're very functional for a lot of different things. And the fact of the matter, we are all in recovery, or we should be, from this pandemic, even though it's not over yet. We have to go through a process to deal with this, because this has been a really awful thing for everybody. It's been a real challenge, but it's less of an awful thing if you can find the good in it. So I write it as a 12-step thing, and this just happens to be step 4, which is made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. And that is looking at myself. What do I need to do different? Did I live up to my own moral values today? Was I nice to people? Was I caring? Did I take responsibility? Did I eat healthy? Did I exercise? The kinds of things that we know we should do. And if we don't do them, it's not good. We don't feel good. And I think people know that they're being mean. Some people just are sociopaths. They just don't care. Being a mental health provider, there are those people, but I don't think there's that many of them out there that are true sociopaths that have no conscience. The rest of us have just jumped on the bandwagon, and we have become haters of a whole bunch of other kinds of people. Whether they're gay or black or Republican or Democrat, we just have jumped on a bandwagon to be negative toward other people and to be hateful and hurtful and say mean things. And it's very disheartening to me. So step 4 is about looking at that. Am I living congruently with what I believe and I know is right? Not what I'm telling you to do. Don't change because I'm saying, hey, it'd be nice for you to be nice. No, You go to whoever your higher power is and you ask. I'm telling you, just go ask and see what they say. Because that's what I did when I wrote this book. I just said, God, I'm having issues. And my challenge today, the name of this is don't like someone, then love them. And that's a hard thing to do because there's a lot of people I don't like, but God calls me, and I'll speak from my own personal experience on how I do this. God calls me to love someone even when they're not nice to me. The verse that came to me as I was writing this was from Proverbs 10:18 and 19. This is great. Hiding hatred makes you a liar, because we all really hate people at times. Slandering others makes you a fool. Doesn't make you cool because you're saying negative things about others. Too much talk leads to sin. Sin is doing what you know is not right to do. That's another definition of sin. If you know it's not right, then it's sin. Actually, that's a verse in James. Those who know what's right to do and fail to do it, it's sin. So that's just very simple. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut. I love it. So again, hiding hatred makes you a liar. Slandering others makes you a fool. Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut. That's from Proverbs 10:18 and 19. And I love how they're just cut and dried. That's it. Just cut and dried. So I prayed that day that I was writing this. God, help me. I don't need to like everyone, but you command that I love them. So help me to love them. So what I did when I wrote this book is then I would stop and just say, God, what do you have to say to me? Just speak to me. And I'm listening. Hence the name of the book, Speak to Me, God, I'm listening. And I just started writing. And what God said to me was, my child, when I sent my son to earth, I did so because mankind needed a savior. They needed to have an example of what true love is, where through my spirit, you're able to love those who hate you and who do evil things against you. Jesus gave the ultimate sacrifice as an example of unconditional love to others who are doing evil. So you humans would know all things are possible through me. You must remember that I work all things together for good, and I am much more concerned about the things of this world than you ever could be. I will repay evil for evil. You are to love that the world may see the power of my spirit. So when people are saying mean things, when they're beating you down, when they're calling you names, when they're being rude and mean and insensitive and hateful and prejudiced, this is saying turn the other cheek. And I know that doesn't set well with people, but there's a way to advocate for what is right without being hateful, without abuse, without tearing down someone else. It is possible. So that's what I would encourage today, that if there is a way to love, I'm telling you, there is a way to love without being mean, even if you don't like someone, because we're human and we aren't going to like everyone. So that's what I'd love to share with you today. And if you're interested in my book, I'd love for you to find it. It's on Amazon. Just type in my name, Linda Larson Schlitz. Speak to Me, God, I'm listening. 365 daily meditations for those who want to hear God answer life's toughest questions. And you can also go to my website and find a whole bunch of other stuff. So that would be great. I would love to hear from you. Please comment, post. That would be great. I'd love to hear more from you. Thanks much.